Welcome back to another tutorial here. In this tutorial we're going to go over each one of these tags and what they do. So here we have a title tag, and a title tag is basically a bit of text that's going to be placed in the title bar, and it's also going to display whenever we actually bookmark our page. So I can say, for example, introduction or an intro to web dev, and I can save it, and we can refresh this page to take a look at the result here. Now watch this title bar up here very carefully. So as you can see, after I've refreshed the page, the title bar now updates. So you might be asking what these lines are. I'll get into those in just a second. So the next thing we want to go over is a p tag. A p tag just represents a paragraph of text. And what I can do here is I can just have miscellaneous text spanning this paragraph page or this paragraph tag, and I can actually hit enter a whole bunch of times, but we're not going to get three separate lines of text. We're going to get one line of text, as you guys can see up here, because the paragraph text or the paragraph kind of ignores it. So I'm going to say this is a simple paragraph, and as you guys can see, the effect of it is the paragraph is actually just going to be on its own little line no matter what. So how do we make it so that a paragraph can break into several different lines? Well, we can actually use this BR tag, and the BR tag just stands for a line break here. It kind of forces a line break in our text. So what I can do is I can put some text right here before the BR, and after the BR I can put some more text. And let's take a look at the result. So as you guys can see now, I have a line of text here, and then I have a second line of text here, and as you guys can take a look here, the result shows that we have broken into a new line. So that's all cool and whatnot, but what I'm going to do now is talk about this EM tag. Well, you guys might have an intuition for what the EM tag stands for. And if you're saying that, oh, it stands for emphasis, you guys would be correct. And in this case, it gives an italicized kind of feel to it. So you guys can see that this is a simple paragraph. And then what I can do here is add some more text that says this is a very, inside of the strong tag, I can say strong statement. And I can end that off there. So the idea of this strong, the strong really represents nothing more than a strongly emphasized bit of text. As you guys are going to see, it actually increases the size of the text a little bit, and it doesn't italicize the text, it actually bolds the text. So as you guys can see, the text is now bolded and a little bit larger than it previously was. So now we talk about this HR tag. This HR tag stands for horizontal rule, and what do I mean by that? Well, it just kind of creates a line that spans most of the page here. Doesn't matter the size of the page, it'll adjust accordingly, and it just kind of divides our web page into multiple different sections. So this H1 tag here, this is the first header tag that we're going to deal with. Typically, this is going to be a tag that we use for kind of the main introduction title to our page. And as you guys can see, typically when you see this on most websites, they'll have it centered. We'll get into that later. This H2 tag is going to be used for kind of separating and denoting that we have a miniature section here. Header 3 represents kind of a subsection, as you guys can see here. And as you guys might have guessed, as we go from H1 to H6, it'll get subsequently smaller and smaller and smaller. So I'm going to have 3 dots represent the H4, the H5, and the H6 so that we can take a look here. As you guys can see, the dots get smaller and smaller and smaller. So the next thing we're going to talk about here is the A tag here, which has this special attribute property which stands for href, which is just a reference to something. So in my case, I'm going to actually just go to Google, and I'm going to get a simple image. And I'm going to take this Pac-Man image because it's pretty cool as far as things go. I'm going to copy this URL and I'm going to put it in between the href here, the href parentheses, and I'll say click me. So the idea behind this is now when I go back to my page, I should have some text in between the A tag here, the opening A tag and the closing A tag. And it'll be highlighted and, well, it won't be highlighted, but it'll be underlined and a little bit of a purplish color. And notice how when I hover over it now, my cursor actually changes. So if I click this, it should take me directly to where this image was. So I'm going to take that same URL again, and I'm going to actually put it inside of this image tag. And what this image tag does is it actually kind of embeds an image directly into our page. So it doesn't link a reference to the image. It's actually going to take the image and put it inside of our page. And as you guys can see, now that I've updated this image tag here with a source, it kind of takes the source's image and plops it here. We can actually do this with several different images, and you know, for example, I can take this image here. Okay, it looks like it didn't want me to take that image, so let's see if we can take this image. Yeah, I can take this cloud image, and I can actually replace this source URL with the cloud source, or with the cloud's image URL, and as you guys can see, the image tag updates accordingly and the image is displayed here. So there we go. Hope you guys found this useful.